Hi children, welcome back to our economics class. In the last video, we discussed the public facilities that are provided to the people by the government. Later, we discussed about the Human Development Index and components of Human Development Index and so on. And now in this video, we are going to learn about the sustainability of development. Sustainability of development. Let us discuss. Sustainability of development. Sustainable development refers to the development which takes place without damaging the environment. Nowadays, this word sustainable development is often heard. What is sustainable development? Very important. The sustainable development refers to the development which takes place without damaging the environment. We know very well, and you are well aware, that today the environments are indiscriminately are damaged. Environs are damaged indiscriminately by the people. Mindlessly, okay, the people are damaging our environs. So when we, without damaging the environment, when the development achieves, and that development which is termed as sustainable development. Sustainable development refers to the development which takes place without damaging the environment. Without damaging the environment, development should be attained, my dears. When this kind of development attained without damaging the environment, this development which is termed as sustainable development. Okay? Right. Next one. Economic development has been attained at the cost of natural resources and environment. Already I told you. Today economic development has been attained everywhere. Economic development has been achieved and attained just at the cost of natural resources. By damaging our enormous natural resources and environment, we are achieving economic development. This is the wrong way of achieving economic development, my dear children. So, economic development has been attained at the cost of natural resources today and environment. For example, what they are? Excessive mining of iron, gold, silver or coal and extraction of crude oil lead to depletion of the resources. See, my dear children, in all these things you see the damaging of environment. We can see the damage of environment in all this. Excessive mining. The mining is okay. Excessive mining of iron, gold, silver or coal whatsoever they are. So when they are excessively mined, these resources, and that is really damaging our environment. And extraction of crude oil also lead to depletion of the resources. Extraction of crude oil leads to depletion of the resources. So when these things takes place, ultimately it damages the environments, my dear children. So excessive mining of iron, gold, silver or coal and extraction of crude oil lead to depletion of the resources, my dear. So that's why here, without damaging the environment, we should attain or we should achieve development. When we achieve this kind of development, which is termed as a sustainable development, my dear children. And now, various measures for sustainable development. What measures we should take to achieve sustainable development? Such as controlling over exploitation of resources, my dear. We have to control over exploitation of resources mindlessly. We are over exploiting our resources. So that should be stopped immediately. So controlling over exploitation of resources, very, very important. And the rule of 3 R's should be adapted. What are the 3 R's? Such as first R, 3 R's are there. First R, recycle. First one, recycle. Second R stands for reduce, and third R stands for reuse. I repeat, 3 R's: recycle, reduce, and reuse. So these 3 R's should be adapted. These 3 should be adapted to save our environment, my dears. So renewable energy resources must be adapted. Renewable energy resources must be adapted. We know very well in the last in geography lesson you might have heard about the renewable and non-renewable energy resources. Where in that lesson you have heard what are the renewable and what are the non-renewable. And here renewable energy resources must be adapted. They must be revived. They must be renewed. They must be renewed. What are they? For example, water is a renewable resource. Wind is a renewable resource. Okay, and solar energy, a renewable resource. So we must utilize them in a proper way, and all these renewable energy resources must be adapted in order to reduce the damage of our environments. And less use of fossil fuels also important, my dear. Less use of fossil fuels. What are the fossil fuels? Coal is a fossil fuel. Natural gas is a fossil fuel. So these fossil fuels must be used, okay, judiciously. That's very important. So less use of fossil fuels also helps us to protect our environment. And not only that, introduction of organic farming. And today, okay, focus is made upon organic farming. Organic farming, that means without using chemical fertilizers. Okay, when we start a cultivation or when we grow crops without using dangerous what do we call chemical fertilizers, that farming can be termed as organic farming without using the dangerous chemical fertilizers. So that kind of farming is called organic farming. It is beneficial to the people when we use them. Okay, it gives us good health. Organic farming. And today you know very well, every fruit, including fruit, all the crops, every grain, all are okay polluted today. We are using dangerous chemicals. So that's why they are not safe at all. So introduction of organic farming is very important. Natural way, in a natural way we have to grow crops, okay, by using manures, okay, natural manure. We can grow crops, and that is called introduction of organic farming. So that when we introduce or when we practice, when we keep on practicing this organic farming, that also helps us to protect our environs. And then adapting measures to reduce global warming. Adapting measures to reduce global warming. And today global warming is a global crisis today. It is a global problem. So adapting, we have to adapt measures to reduce the global warming, because the earth is getting heater and heater. So that's why we have to reduce the heat of the globe. So adapting measures to reduce the global warming is also one of the important measures for sustainable development. So when we follow all these measures, and definitely we can achieve the sustainable development without damaging the environment. We should achieve development, and that development which is called sustainable development. So by following all these measures, by taking all these measures, we can achieve sustainable development. Sustainable development is important for economic growth, because environment must be conserved while development is taking place. Now let me tell you, my dear children, sustainable development is important for economic growth. Nowadays it is very important. Achieving sustainable development is very important. Without damaging our environments, we have to achieve economic development. So sustainable development is important for economic growth because environment must be conserved while development is taking place. Environment must be conserved. All our environments must be conserved and well protected while development is taking place. So unfortunately today here, in the name of development, we are damaging the environments. We are clearing the forests. Okay, when the government constructs a project, irrigation project, we lose a lot of forest land. So that's what that should be stopped. Okay, so environment must be conserved. Environment must be conserved while development is taking place. But unfortunately, in the name of development, we are damaging our environments, and this trend should be stopped to attain sustainable development. So environment must be conserved while development is taking place, and resources must be used in such a way that they are conserved for the future generations. So resources must be used in such a way that they are conserved. The resources, whatever the resources we have, what the resources that are endowed, all these resources should be conserved for the coming generations or the future generations, my dear children. But unfortunately, all these resources are exhausted. They are on the verge of exhaust. So that's why that should not be exhausted, and we have to protect and conserve all these resources. When we keep on exploiting these resources, one day all these resources will be exhausted. We cannot find them later. So that's why resources must be used in such a way that they are conserved for the future generations. The standard of living of people must be raised, my dear children. The standard of living of people must be raised. That is also very important. Standard of living of the people. It is an indicator of development. When the people have good standard of living, that is a good indicator for economic development. If the standard of living of the people is very low, then that indicates the undevelopment. So that's why the standard of living of people must be raised. Therefore, my dear children, thus there is a need for conservation and judicious use of resources for development. We have to use our resources judiciously to achieve development, my dear children. And here is the picture. Just take a look at this. Take a look at this picture. How mindlessly, okay, the resources are being exploited here in the mines. You see, the coal is exploited mindlessly. And here the crude oil is extracted. Yes, crude oil is extracted enormously. And see, the coal is burning here enormously. Okay. So these things should be stopped. And here is another vegetables. Okay. And we have to encourage. Okay. We have to encourage by using. We have to encourage the farming by using manure and so on. Okay. Organic farming. We have to support and we have to encourage organic farming. So when we take all these measures, and surely and definitely we can achieve sustainable development, my dear children. And with this, the chapter development in economics is completed, and I will come with a new chapter in the next video. Okay, my dear children, till then, bye. Thank you.